Sometimes just as we think we discovered everything that's in the ocean, there's always something new that popped up waiting to be discovered. Ostax worms is a Latin name for bone eater, but they're commonly known as zombie worms, bone worms, or simply bone-eating worms. These zombie worms were first discovered in California in 2002, eating the carcass of a gray whale. Oh, and by the way, these worms are really small, like 1 to 3 inches. Scientists thought that these worms only live in cold waters, like around Antarctica or deep below the surface like 10,000 feet, but they found out that they can also live in shallow Mediterranean waters, which have temperatures ranging from 69 to 83 degrees Fahrenheit. What's weird about these ostax is that they don't have a stomach or a mouth, and they still found a way to feed on bones. That's when symbiotic bacteria come to play. They rely on symbiotic species of bacteria that help them when digesting whale proteins or other dead animals. These worms don't have teeth to eat the bones, so instead, they release an acid that can dissolve the bones, and then they use bacteria that will break down the fat and proteins of the animal into nutrients that they can absorb. And you see this feathery-like hair on the creature? They act like gills that can suck up the nutrients, and those root-like structures also absorb the nutrients. That's why they can feed on any dead creature on the ocean floor. Of course, the ones that have bones in them. Now these worms may seem harmless, because they just minding their business, eating whatever they can. But that's the problem researchers have to face. Because ostax worms dissolve bones, this stops researchers from discovering, collecting, and preserving fossils that were found on the ocean floor, because these worms are just eating all of them up. Now you may be wondering, how long have these zombie worms been around? Well, they've been around for as long as whales have been around, even longer than whales, over 100 million years ago. Ostax worms are believed to be the world's longest living vertebrates, with a lifespan of up to 500 years. That's a really long time if you ask me. New research showed that zombie worms also used to be feeding on the bones of underwater dinosaurs, such as the plesiosaurs, mosasaurs, and other big marine animals. When a whale dies, its body falls to the seafloor, and then starts decomposing. But because of the ocean's cold temperatures, it slows down the decomposition process. This gives many deep-sea creatures an opportunity to feast on the whale, which can nourish them for decades, and predators can't dive very deep. But you know a creature that is terrifying looking and oddly weird? Scotoplanes. Just take a moment and look at this creature. Doesn't it look like some kind of alien creature from another planet? These creatures are very common though, you'll just never get the chance to see them in person because they only live in the deepest, darkest, coldest parts of the ocean. In pictures, these scotoplanes look huge, but they're actually 4 to 6 inches big. Scotoplanes are also known as sea pigs, but they're quite often confused with sea cucumbers. Sea pigs walk on long stilts that let them travel through the mud more easily than sea cucumbers, whose caterpillar-like feet stay hidden beneath their body. If these creatures are brought up 4,000 feet within the water's surface, they will disintegrate, or as one may say, disintegrate into a pile of faux jello. But you want to know the craziest part? They breathe through their bum. This is because they have a poorly developed respiratory system and they lack a respiratory tree, so they breathe through their very thin skin, directly passing through their body wall to exchange oxygen with the water surrounding them. There are a large number of sea pigs in the oceans because they don't have many predators. Parasites are the only predators that sea pigs have because they feed on their inside. Because they taste awful and have poisonous skin, other predators won't eat them. They use the poisonous substances in their skin known as holothurans as a defense against predators. And you see these long antennas on top of their head? Yeah, those aren't antennas, these are feet. They help the sea pig move around on the seafloor, and they also work as a sensory feature that enables them to pick up chemical traces of a potential meal. Today we learned that ostax worms eat bones with acid, can live for hundreds of years, dead whales decompose very slowly, keeps deep-sea creatures nourished, sea pigs disintegrate when near the surface of water, breathe through their bum, and have poisonous skin. See you later!